This month's episode of the QA is brought to you by Rainier Arms. Hey guys, my name is Dave. Thank you very much for checking out this video. It is the end of the month, which means it is time for the QA for Guns and Tactics. Make sure you follow us online at gunsandtactics.com and follow us on all of our social media platforms. And before we begin, make sure you send your questions to the QA at gunsandtactics.com, or you can leave a comment or a message on any one of our social media platforms. Just make sure you use the hashtag #TheQA so we can find your question and submit it to the episode. And as always, every month one lucky question asker will receive an awesome prize, and this month it is going to be the new charging handle from Rainier Arms, which is awesome. So special thanks to Rainier Arms for sponsoring this month's episode and including an awesome prize for this month's winner. Let's get to it. Trauma Jock writes on YouTube, could you guess at the cost to mill my SDVE slide for removable Glock plates? I don't know who to ask. Well, thanks for asking us. You could try to find a machine shop, or there are some machine shop services online that do mill for the RMR cut, which I'm assuming is what you're asking, because I think that was on one of the RMR or red dot mounting video comments. The thing with the SDVE is it is not a Glock, so trying to get it machined to Glock plates is probably not going to happen, but you could possibly find a machine shop that would machine it for either an RMR cut or a Shield RMS cut, etc. The best thing to do would be just to reach out to some machine shops, send in your slide and your optics so they can fit the two, and that would make the best possible option for you. As far as cost, I'm guessing it's probably going to be anywhere from $75 to a couple $100 depending on the shop and how precise they are and how much time it takes them and how much they charge based on that. So a good question there. On our gas buster charging handle DIY video, we had a comment from Sean E. Hook. What buffer/spring are you running on the 11.5 inch? Any issues running all ammo? And on my 11.5 inch gun, I run that, obviously it's an SBR, and I do run it suppressed and unsuppressed, so it just kind of depends. And as far as ammo, I run pretty much every type of ammo in it. I run duty ammo, I run practice ammo, I run cheap ammo, I run decent ammo, and I don't have any issues running ammo with that gun. Now, some SBRs can be more finicky because of the shorter dwell time, but a good SBR should give you no issues. Now, as far as what buffer and spring, I use a standard carbine spring from a good source. Brownells, Wolf, Springco, just get a good quality, carbine spring. And then in that gun, I'm running an H2 buffer. However, you could maybe get by with an H3 depending on the gas port and how much gas you have with your SBR, but I'm running an H2 and I don't have any issues. Now, some of the other things I'd like to try in the future, I do want to try the Geissele 42 spring in their buffer. I've also ran the JP silent captured springs in some of my other guns that I was thinking about trying it in an SBR, especially now that they have the adjustable mass carrier. I might give that a try in an SBR. The only downside with that is it adds a little bit more weight. But I do like it in my 3-gun rifles, which is where I've run the JP system before. So I might try that. Otherwise, I've heard good things about the Geissele. I don't personally run an A5 on that, but I know a lot of guys run the A5 system with their SBRs and they really like it. So that might be another one to look at as well. All right, this is a question from Bob K. I am new to long-range shooting. Is there enough difference in lot-to-lot variation of match-grade ammo to make any measurable difference? Well, technically, there could be. Now, what he's referring to, most long-range shooters, precision rifle shooters, things like that, they'll either hand load, which is what a lot of people do, so that way they can get very consistent ammunition from round to round. And the things that you're going to be looking for in consistency, the powder, how much actual grains, because sometimes there can be a variance there. The bullet seat, how far the bullet is seated in the casing trim, the crimp. All of that stuff plays a factor in accuracy when you're trying to get very, very small groups on paper or very precise shots downrange. So the rule of thumb is consistency equals accuracy. Accuracy is achieved by consistency. And hand loaders will get that because they want that consistency. They'll measure, they'll get their micrometers, their scales, everything will be consistent from individual round to individual round, so that way it's consistent over the lot of that batch. Now, manufacturers will make lots of ammunition, so they will allot these machines to make this round, boom, they'll sign that lot number, and then they'll move on. Those machines may have to make other ammunition or stuff like that. Or just every so often they change dies, they change tools, they change case sources, whatever it might be, and they'll do different lots. Now, if you're using good ammunition, the theory should be that it should be consistent from lot to lot, that manufacturer has their tolerances and their process down so well that basically when they get done manufacturing this lot and they pick it up on a different lot, the ammunition is still the same quality, the same consistency, so you shouldn't. However, there's a reason why they put lots on there, is because if you're going from lot to lot, you should re-zero or confirm your zero. So it could make a difference, but hopefully it doesn't. I guess that's the best way I can answer that. I wish it wouldn't, but good ammunition. However, I know guys that are really into precision or law enforcement, snipers, things like that, and if they get a new lot of ammunition, they will confirm zero. Some of them said, yeah, I noticed like maybe a ½ inch shift consistently. Some of them have said, yeah, this lot for whatever reason was way different. So you're gonna have to, check from lot to lot to make sure that the ammunition you're using does stay consistent with your rifle. So before we answer the rest of our questions, let's give a thank you to Rainier Arms for sponsoring this month's episode. This month's winner from the QA will receive a Rainier Arms Avalanche Mod 2 AR-15 charging handle. This is an $80 value and offers ambi release handles and has good aggressive knurling, so you can get a good purchase on your charging handle. It's made from aircraft grade 7075 aluminum right here in the United States. If you're looking to buy all of your AR-15 and cool firearm stuff, look no further than Rainier Arms. They carry all the cool brands, all the latest and greatest gear at great prices. However, if you're into shopping and you like to buy cool stuff, then check out the Apex Club. For a low yearly fee of $80, you get exclusive availability and exclusive pricing on all of their stuff, plus free ground shipping on all of your orders. That can easily make up for the cost of the club price in just your first couple of orders. Again, exclusive low pricing, exclusive availability, free ground shipping on all of your orders, only from the Apex Club from Rainier Arms. For more information, check out rainierarms.com/apex. Back at our questions, we have kind of a long one here from Salvatore Muse from New Jersey. So he has kind of a workup here. So he's building a high-end AR-15 in 6.5 Grendel, which is a cool little round. And he would like my opinion on whether he thinks whether I think a standard gas block or an adjustable gas block. He doesn't plan on running suppressed. He's not concerned with cost. So some things he's heard in favor of a standard gas block: full gas equals full reliability, no adjustable parts that wear or break, and adjustable gas blocks cause more problems than they solve. However, some of the things he's heard about adjustable gas blocks: full gas is overgassed and will beat up the gun, and adjustable to make softer shooting with less recoil. So, great question, adjustable versus a standard gas block in your build. I would say, if you get a good quality adjustable gas block, you're not gonna have issues. I've run, now, let me back up by saying I used to be a non-adjustable guy. Same, mindset of, okay, it's one more screw to come loose, it's one more part to break, it's one more thing to break down, it's one more thing to have a problem with. However, there has been a lot of really great adjustable gas blocks that have came on the market. Bleed-off gas blocks from Superlative Arms is one of them that I'm running. JP makes some, SLR makes some, Micro, I can't remember the name, but I think it's Micro MOA makes some as well. And those are all good, proven adjustable gas blocks that have positive detents. They have set screws that you can tighten down to lock in place. So once you adjust that gas block, it is set. It's kind of like the set it and forget it. Now, one con to gas blocks is, it does take some adjusting, and that adjusting can change from weather conditions, ammunition conditions, things like that. Where I've seen adjustable gas blocks have issues is in 3-gun, where people will set it up in the summer and then they'll come shoot in the winter and they'll start to have the gas, giving them issues in the winter because lubrication, ammunition, gas issues, whatever. So make sure that you kind of give yourself a little bit of extra give there too. So I always adjust it to where it'll lock back, and then I'll open it up maybe 1 or 2 more increments just to make sure, in case I get a batch with some wimpier ammo or I shoot some wimpier ammo, I just have a little bit of leeway. But full gas equals full reliability. Yeah, that's true. You'll get the most gas if you're running a non-adjustable gas block. Could it beat up the gun over time? It could, but if you're sourcing your barrel from a quality source and it has a good gas port, not some oversized, huge, garbage can lid size gas port, you're not going to have any issues with it beating up the gun. Where I've seen that happen is with a lot of entry-level barrels. They will make that gas port huge, so it's reliable, overly reliable, so you're getting extra gas to cycle the gun, so it'll cycle on even the crappiest of ammunition. But the barrels that you kind of had listed as the bottom as the ones you're interested in, I don't think those are going to give you any issue with that. Adjustable parts to wear or break, good quality adjustable gas block will last a long, long time. There are adjustable gas blocks out there now that have been run in tens and tens of thousands of rounds by hardcore 3-gunners and shooters with no issue. So buy a good one, and you shouldn't have any issues with the adjustable gas block. And adjustable can make it softer. Yes, that is absolutely true. An adjustable gas block with either the silent captured spring system or a system like that, or a good quality buffer, you can definitely achieve softer shooting recoil or felt recoil and muzzle rise. So you can tune the gun, if you will, to make for the best shooting experience. Jeremy emails, billet versus forged lower receivers, smiley face. Jeremy probably wrote this. I kind of know Jeremy from training. Jeremy definitely wrote this in response to my last video because him and I kind of shared some messages. But yes, I do get this question a lot. Please check out the briefing room video where we talk about the pros and cons of billet versus forged lower receivers. So Jeremy, thank you very much for being a wise person. And he said that I would never post this, but sure enough I did. So there you go. All right. Roger emails us. Differences between lower parts kits. Yes, there is a difference from lower parts kit to lower parts kit depending on the manufacturer. He also asks, are all lower parts kits sourced from only a few places like the internet tells me? Well, not really, kinda. There are some castings that are sourced from the same small places. So for example, I've seen lower parts kits from several different brands that the trigger and the hammer will actually have the same casting marks, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the same quality. The castings came from the same casting house, however, the final machining was done by different manufacturers, and there can be a difference of how those sear surfaces are cut. Just because it comes from one casting house generally means it's a good casting, but it could be screwed up by a machine shop. Or the manufacturer. So there is a difference from lower parts kit to lower parts kit, quality. There's a reason why some lower parts kits on the market are like $20, $30, $40 versus others are $50, $60, $70. Now, what the differences are they investment cast versus metal injected molding? Are they pot metal and just cheap crap versus a good quality source of metal? And I've seen some lower parts kits, the bolt catch, bolt release will not stick to a magnet. I've seen some that will, and again, that tells you that there's different metal. I've seen some that have cracked over time, and it's just a cheap, poorly made part. And I've seen other ones that don't. So if you're buying your lower parts kit from a quality, reputable manufacturer, you shouldn't have any issues. However, sometimes things come up. I've seen trigger pins break. I've seen disconnectors break. I've seen hammers break. I've seen all sorts of issues with different springs and things like that, just because sometimes they're just not well made. However, most of the time I see a lot of issues related to lower parts kits coming from improper installation, that people just want to blame the parts, but in reality, why are these springs dent, and detents, all banged up and tore up or bent or whatever it might be. So yes, there is a difference. What lower parts kits do I like, which is usually a follow-up question. I actually source my own, but you can get good quality lower parts kits from JP, LMT, Stag Continental Machine. Midwest Industries makes good lower parts kits. A lot of the stuff that Rainier sources is good quality. Battle Arms Development makes excellent small components for that, as does Forward Controls. So there's a lot of things that you can do to kind of piece it together, because the reality is the lower parts kit, as a whole of what it used to be, the lower parts kits used to come with a grip, a trigger, and all the small pieces to basically complete your lower receiver minus your stock parts. And I think, honestly, the lower parts kit is kind of dying as we know it. Nobody wants the A2 grip, nobody wants the crappy trigger guard, and nobody wants the crappy mil-spec trigger. So a lot of companies now have started basically having a smaller lower parts kit that just has your detents, your springs, and your pins, and your bolt catch, and your mag release. But a lot of people aren't even using some of those things. They're using a nicer mag release, they're using a nicer, more enhanced bolt catch, and then they're adding their own grip, their own trigger. So don't be afraid to piece stuff together for you as well. So great question. Our last question is from James. James wants to know what my favorite AR-15 is. Well, James, I wish I had a favorite. I don't. I have a lot of favorites. But one of them that I just keep going back to is one that was actually gifted to me by some family members when I got married. It was kind of a welcome to the family gift, and I really, really like that AR. It's evolved over time. It used to have a dissipator style barrel with the fixed front sight all the way out at the end of a 16-inch barrel, and it had a fixed stock. Well, that has since evolved. I have an adjustable stock on there now. I'm actually running that in what I call a Sweet 16 configuration, which means it has a 13.7-inch barrel with a pinned and welded muzzle device to get it right at 16, which I think there's some pros and cons to that. I'll maybe do another video about that because I do get that question a lot, pinned and welded muzzle device versus just a 16-inch barrel. But this one I call the Sweet 16. It has my favorite optic, which is a Trijicon Accu Power 1-4, which is just a simple, rugged, reliable optic. I have a good trigger in there, free float rail. It's just a nice rifle. So if I had to pick probably one, that would be it. If I had to pick a favorite pistol, it would probably be probably my STI 9mm handgun that I used for competition. Shotguns, probably a Benelli M2 that I used for 3-gun, maybe a good old classic 870, I don't know. Actually, your question was favorite AR, sorry. I thought it was favorite firearm. So I, embellished a little bit there. I hope that helped out for all of the viewers that were awesome enough to ask us a question for our QA. And again, in order to keep this rocking and rolling, we need to hear from you. So please ask your questions. You can email us at theqa@gunsandtactics.com, or you can leave comments. And now, for the best part of what all you are waiting for is who is going to be the winner of that awesome charging handle from Rainier Arms. Random number generator. It is number 3, which is Bob K. Bob K, you are this month's winner from Rainier Arms for the amazing Mod 2 charging handle from Rainier Arms. So Bob K, make sure you send us an email, theqa@gunsandtactics.com. We will get your contact information and ship out that charging handle to you. Thank you guys very much for watching. For more information about us, make sure you check us out online, follow us on social media, and be sure to ask those questions so you can be a lucky winner for next month's QA. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.